Hello patrons, welcome back. Today we are going to be showing you how to do a salt bowl for home protection. We talked about cleansing for your home, how to do a house cleanse and Mabon, and then how to set up protections and wards and things. And this is one of those protection things. Salt bowls are very common. They're very simple to do. It's a great beginner working. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do, obviously, is to cleanse yourself, your space, and your tools. Cleansing yourself is just as easy as taking a shower, but being, very mindful and intentional while you're in there about the working that you're about to undertake. When we talked about cleansing your space and your tools, you could use sage, some sort of smoke. You can use a candle flame like this, just sort of passing your bowl over the candle flame. You can use clear quartz. That's what I do. I just run the clear quartz through the bowl and over all of my tools and things like that, so everything is already cleansed. And then you want to get yourself into the right mindset. Casting a circle isn't completely necessary, but if you feel that that helps you get into the right mindset, then definitely go ahead and do that. But just get very clear on what your intention is, because a salt bowl can be a lot of different things. Rather than just home protection, it can be home protection and grounding. It could be home protection and prosperity or something like that. So you can, depending on what kind of ingredients you use, you can make it a lot of different things. So just be very clear on what your intentions are. My intentions with this is to protect my home, the people in it, to ward off any sort of negative intentions, which I will explain why when we get into some of these ingredients that I am going to be using. So let's go over what each thing is here. Obviously I have the bowl that everything is going to be going into. I have these two cards over here. Aren't they pretty? So tarot cards aren't totally necessary, but I like using them just to sort of remind me what I'm doing, get into the right mindset. So I have these two. This is the anchor. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Love that foil. And the anchor is all about stability, wealth, and security. And then this one is the Sovereign of Coins. And if you're more familiar with the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, that's the same thing as the Queen of Pentacles, which is all about reliability, nurturing, grounding, keeping a simple life in order to care for the others around you. So I just sort of like to have those there as an extra little reminder. Another thing that's not totally necessary, this is my pendulum. So I often like to use pendulums in my spellcrafting when I'm making something like a protection bowl or mixing herbs and oils and things like that, because it's very easy to sort of ask a pendulum if you've put in enough of a certain ingredient. So I can just hold it and, ask it. Of course, you want to ask it first to show you a swing for yes. Yep, so that's mine. It goes forward like that. And then you just want to ask it to show you a swing for no. Which again, yep, that is mine. It goes horizontally when it's a swing for no. So I will hold it over the bowl and just ask, if I put in enough of this rosemary that I'm going to put in. If it says no, then I add a little bit more. I generally like doing that more for when I'm doing oils, because those are so much more specific than a salt bowl. But the pendulum is here. It's a good option if you have one, a fun way to use it. And this white candle here just cleanses and purifies the space, but I can also use the wax to seal this. So this is a sigil. This is the sigil I use for protection, and I did not make it. If you can tell me where I got it from, let me know. For you, Glen Coco, if you can tell me where this came from. It's definitely a pop culture reference, if that helps. But I just started using it and it works for me, so this is what I use for protection. So then going around these other things that I have here, this is the base. This is sea salt. You can use any kind of salt that you have around your home. Table salt and things are fine. Salt is associated with the earth element, and it's cleansing, purifying, and good for setting up protective barriers. This is black salt, which has the same properties for cleansing and protection as sea salt. So generally you don't need both, but black salt is also very good for repelling unwanted energy and protecting from third-party influences. And you will see if you keep on subscribing that I think next month I'm going to be doing and posting spell work related to getting a bad neighbor to move out and move on. And before I undertake a working directed at my neighbors, I want to make sure that my home is protected from any sort of third-party influences that might come. So again, that is another earth element. So then here is rosemary. Rosemary is good for cleansing, strength, and protection. It's associated with the fire element. And this is lavender, which is good for purification, banishing harmful spirits, and it's also good for stress relief and happiness. You can get the smell of it. So as soon as you walk in, if you leave your home and you walk in, you have sort of these negative energies attached to you from just being out in the world. They sort of dissipate when you walk past this salt bowl or when you smell this lavender and things. So I always like to include lavender in it. And lavender is associated with the air element. And then I have this house blessing oil, which I got from an occult store near here. And I just wanted to include an oil. It smells really good, so I'm just going to include a couple of drops in that. So that's associated with the water element, and then I have sort of all four elements within my salt bowl. And then the last thing here is I always like to include some sort of crystal or gemstone on there. So this is pyrite. Pyrite is a very strong protection stone, and it shields against all negativity on all planes. So it's not just, physical, but it's also spiritual negativity, emotional energy, all of those things. So it's a very good stone for protection. So all you have to do then is add all of your ingredients. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my protection sigil here, and you just want to fold it towards yourself, then turn it clockwise, fold it towards yourself again. And I think that's small enough to just fit in the bottom of my bowl here, but you can keep on folding it until you have a small enough piece of what you want. And then I'm just going to use the wax here from my candle to sort of seal those edges. And go ahead and place that in the bottom of my bowl there. And as you are doing all of these steps, you just want to think about what your intention is, sort of charge all of your things, and just keep repeating to yourself that what you're doing is protecting your home. Visualize everybody that lives in your home being protected. Visualize yourself coming and going. Generally, you want to place the salt bowl near the door someplace, so when you're coming and going, it can collect all of those negative energies. So just sort of envision yourself and your loved ones coming in through that door and all of the negativity disappearing, and just generally think of a harmonious, peaceful environment. And now you have the salt bowl ready to go. It smells absolutely amazing. It works as decor, and it gets rid of all of the negative energy coming into your house. So that is all I have for you for today, patrons, but stay tuned for a lot more spell work coming your way.